Materials. Scott's Miracle Grow. Mr. Kramer said that Scott's Miracle Grow this last week was a buy. I'd be careful with that. I am not a buyer until we get above our teal line of 161.01. Of course, it would have been great. We've been talking about Scott's Miracle Grow for quite some time. However, we need to stay above our teal line before I would say that I am a positive positive buyer. Now, do I see once we hold this teal line and once we can get above this 50% of 66.70 or 166.71, next target obviously would be our trend line. Just like we hit the trend line and we went kaplow. So it looks like we're going to start squeezing in just a little bit. But I am a skeptical fan of Scott's Miracle Grow. We need to show me that we can get above our teal line and hold it before I recommend buying. This would be on the watch list. The market is now down $6.25.50. Ecolabs, we are making higher lows, but just be kind of careful. We made that high right there, and since then we kind of dropped. I would say more or less our land in the sand is right there. This is our, as you see, we have been kind of growing our lines up. Our next line in the sand we got to hold is the 228. Anything above the 228, I am a buyer. But if we drop below the 228, it's time to let it go. I'm not really a true buyer until we can hold that 231 and actually hold it. Linden Basal or Lundal Basal. Anything above 96.61, I would be a buyer, but anything below, it's time to get out. It looks like we have had a massive run since the December 20th, so that's about what, 4 weeks, and we have been great. 85 to 97. We have had a great run. That's why I would be skeptical. I'd be kind of cautious because we have had such a great run. But if you wanted to buy here, I would buy here with a well-determined exit strategy of anything below the 96.61. DuPont. I like DuPont here. Oh, oops. What did I do? We have broken above our resistance right here. We are holding. As long as we hold the 81.57, that would be my break line. That's the line in the sand that we need to hold. I like, if we can really hold this 83.17, then that's even better. That brings us all the way over to here. So if we can hold that, then our next target would be 85.01. Market is down 7 points. Dow Chemical, anything above our 57 that we drew would be a buy. However, I would be a more convicted with more conviction above the 59.04. So if we can hold this 59.04, I would be a buyer there. I'd give it a little bit of wiggle room, right? Because we're still bullish above our teal line, but I wouldn't give it. I might wait a day. I might wait just a day, kind of see what happens. But if we can hold this 59.04, then that would be my land in the sand. I really would not want to hold all the way the whole $2. So that's why I'm saying be careful. Get up to maybe about the 59.30, then that's where I'd probably maybe around the 59.30 buy with a stop of 59.04. BASF. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, look at this. I told you guys, like ever since I told them, I said BASF, we're cutting you. We won't want you anymore. It's gone straight up since then. So we're just back on the target. It's going, all right, well maybe we can keep you around a little longer. Right? We are at our second little line in the sand. If we can get above the 1884, then I would say, wow, I would be very impressed. We are gapping up, everything looking pretty good. We have filled well, as you guys can see, that gap is a little nervous, but it's a European stock, so that makes sense. That's funny though. Whoever actually watches these entire videos, if you've been seeing that, I literally said around here, we're going to drop you, we don't want you anymore, and since then we have gone straight up. The same thing with RIO. Maybe I need to say it more often, right? Because we have literally gone 12 points or 13 points since I was telling you guys that I wanted to readjust and probably take BASF and RIO off, and since that point in time, we have done nothing but go up. Like I said, maybe I need to say it more often. I would not be a buyer. I would like to watch this because it is Gap City. I'd be careful. But RIO has the potential to go up to 97. This also could be cyclical because if you remember, last year we were way at 73 and our high, temporary high, was in February when we were up to 91. So just that could be cyclical, and so we could see ourselves back in the 90s within the next month. International paper is another one that I said I wanted to get rid of, but since that point in time, we are starting to go up. I apologize for the noise in the back. Like I said, I am trying to give it to you as fast as I can, and oh look, the market is starting to turn. We are now only down 4 points, but we have hit higher. We are 5 points above our low on international paper. It looks as if, we did hit negative target, and since then we have gone up.
Is it really smell good, or you know what I mean? Because otherwise you gotta bypass out shit.
I would be a buyer above 48.74, a cautious buyer, because anything below that I wouldn't really want it until we can get above it again, if that makes sense. So if we can hold it here, great, but if we drop below it, I would get out, and then because I wouldn't be confident that we wouldn't go all the way down to the 47.60 or even lower. But if we drop below it, find some support, and then go back above it, I would be a buyer again above the 48.74. Mosaic, I can't say too much wrong with Mosaic. It looks like we're trying to we closed the gap that I was talking about last week, that we'll probably try to close the gap. We closed the gap. We got destroyed, but then look exactly what we did. So this is kind of what I wanted to see. We're back where we were last week, basically, but a lot has happened. So everyone that was basically getting in from here, they reached target, and then we flushed everybody out since December 22nd, which leaves us time, or the ability to reach our target of 42 and hopefully up to 44. Sherwin-Williams, are you kidding me? No way. Sherwin-Williams finally had a negative day? Wow. Do I think that anything's too wrong with Sherwin-Williams? Not really. We've had a fantastic run. We are 20 points off of where we were. Just be careful, because if Sherwin-Williams is no longer the darling of the market, we have a very, very long way to fall. This right here is probably the biggest line in the sand, because this gives us from 1126. If we cannot hold this number, then we might come all the way down to the 311, then down to our teal line, what we drew back here, the 300. So just be very skeptical on this, and I wouldn't initiate any trade. Well, if you want to be super aggressive, I buy right here, with knowing that this, right about the 319 would be where you get out. Give it 4 points. Anything below the 4 points, get out.